Good afternoon. Want to get you the latest on a severe thunderstorm and a tornado warned storm over in Leon County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in portions of Burleson County that now comes with a tornado possible tag. So this is a look at that storm system as it continues to move on over to the east. We'll try and get our graphics up with us real quick. So again, main concern with that is going to be that area of rotation. Let's make sure we can get this back. Guys, I may have to step off camera for about 2 seconds. So, there we go. Tornado warning up towards Leon County. Both of these warnings go until 3 o'clock. Again, main concern here is that area of rotation. And then as we head down towards Burleson County, that is where that severe thunderstorm warning is active, but it comes with the tornado possible tag. Now, while we wait for my side computer to get loaded up, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and move over to the desk. I'm going to step off air, but I'm going to stay with you as we move through these warnings. So again, main concern is going to be the couplet associated with this as we get a better look. That warning, Stevie, great. Need you to start poking around in here. That computer on the side died for me.
Okay.
So this is the storm with the active tornado warning. Again, not confirmed, but we know that it has that rotation and it is close enough to the ground to warrant that tornado warning. We'll get that computer up and going. And looks like we're going to get a new severe thunderstorm warning for Brazos as well. So this is a look. It is messy. It is very starting to fold a lot, and we have already gotten damage. I believe it's from Leona is where we saw those reports. So this is a look at that system. Stevie, could we get a timeline on that?
Yes. When
you have a second, and I will be able to potentially help you in a second once this computer loads up. So you can see where those, again, higher reflectivities, even if you're not finding the active rotation, it is heavy rain. And if we have rotation, it is rain wrapped. So finding where that rotation is going to be very, very difficult. How fast is this moving?
Last I saw 35, but let me double check.
All right, that's what this is at as well. If you want to click for me so I can get that timeline.
Oh, 55. It has sped up.
All right, so we can get a different timeline on that because I think that bar is set to 35.
Yes,
so.
I just redid it.
Perfect.
So this is correct.
Perfect. Okay, so that is a look at the timeline. Stevie, can you read those times out for us?
Yes, so 2:45, we're talking Blue Lake Church. That's here in about 5 minutes. You need to be in your tornado safe zone. Same with Austintonio. 3:08 Cut. Already need to be making your way towards your tornado safe zone, even though that's in about 25 minutes from now. Same with Lone Pine Church, Thankful Missionary Baptist Church, same situation there. So anywhere that you just saw on that list within that tornado timeline that we are still talking, which it is currently set to expire at 3 o'clock, would not be surprised if that does get reissued though. Kaylee, do you want to talk those in-town warnings?
Yes, please. If we can move those boxes out of the way. So I believe that should say 3 o'clock. I know it says 2, but both of these warnings now active until 3 o'clock. And one of them comes with the tornado possible tag. That is the storm that is moving through Burleson County. And if it continues on its path, is going to move into southern Brazos County. Now, the warning that takes up here, the majority of Brazos County does include Bryan College Station. That goes until 3 o'clock. Main concerns, hail to the size of quarters and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Stevie, let's get a velocity scan on this, because we have seen some funnels trying to make themselves get down to the ground. So we're finding some areas of rotation. We may want to put the O&M radar on instead of this. But while you do that, again, you can see just how messy that leading edge is. So we're finding little areas of rotation. So we know that the inflow is fighting with that outflow enough to try and get at least a little bit of rotation on the ground. So here's Stevie, I can do that as well. If it'll let me, my gosh. So again, our velocity, we're getting a lot of folding because of the speed of these winds. and that has been an issue all day. So even if you are not finding rotation, you are finding strong straight line winds and strong wind gusts that are going to continue to cause some issues. That doesn't help me at all, but that's okay. We will close that. Computers have been fighting all day, guys, so I apologize for any sort of lag. Sorry, guys. Thank you. We should have graphics up now. So there's a look from our camera looking over Aggie Park. So you see that those lighter green colors, kind of the hue that we have to the sky, that is likely showing us that we have a decent amount of hail, and any sort of hail core is going to come with that rotation potential as well. So now, Stevie, if you want to get into one and just have stuff ready. So we are seeing a little bit of attenuation as the rain is moving through. So our velocity scans are not fantastic for us right now. So let me go back and we'll fix that. So we may get some folding, but at least we'll find out where that rotation is over the next couple of minutes. Again, both of these warnings ongoing for the next 15 minutes, and the same with that warning up in Leon County. So again, it looks messy, but this at least shows us where we're finding some of that messy rotation right along that leading edge. So again, in Burleson County, you've got some just back and forth with those. It's no clear-cut couplets, but we're finding that rotation. And we'll also take a look at hail, and that lines up with the green hue that we were seeing to the skies over our Aggie Park cam. But those light grays, that is pea-sized, that is sub-severe in nature, which is good. We just need to make sure we keep it that way, but that is going to be enough junk in the atmosphere muddying up the sky that it's going to give that green hue to it. Do believe we got a new severe thunderstorm warning, or maybe they just continued the one that they had just talked about. Do have an update in Leon County. So I'll take you up there. They did say they're going to be canceling this warning shortly, and it looks like they already have. Great. All right, so no more active tornado warnings. We're going to stay with you probably a little bit longer until we get a better idea of this system and these warnings. If
y'all will switch over to Max 1 and just keep Kaylee on the wall there, I have that updated wind scope on the board if you'd like to poke around in there. For Bryan College Station. There we go. All right. So, this is catching my eye immediately. So down by Welborn, you can see that green and red next to each other. Stevie, can we get a zoom in on that?
Yes.
Don't believe they've said anything about that.
They have not yet.
Okay. Do know we're going to have a flood advisory coming out for Burleson and Brazos soon. So again, you can see this is all thanks to the radar on top of the O&M building on campus. So this is giving us a better idea of the lower levels of the atmosphere. And this is lining up with some potential rotation. We've seen pictures of funnels trying to make their way to the ground. We have not had contact with the ground, so that is why we don't have any active tornado warnings, but you can see those red and greens are close enough that we are finding that rotation. So again, thanks Stevie with the pointing there. That warning again goes until 3 o'clock. Main concerns is going to be those winds to 60 miles per hour, as well as the hail at about an inch. If you want to switch over to the hail scope real quick, Stevie, because that should line up. Ooh, it doesn't. So that means we're finding a little bit of a separation in that rotation, but we have seen that hail size really bulk up. So that means we do need to keep an eye on that potential area of rotation closer to Welborn. So again, not a tornado warning ongoing, but we're gonna keep eyes on that rotation over the next little bit. Severe thunderstorm warning. I think that may have just been a continuation. All right, so this is a look at the hail scope, likely finding at least sub-severe hail falling in Bryan, and we can see those brighter blues quarter-sized hail. So that's getting up to that inch in diameter. That is going to be on that stronger to severe side of that hail core. Again, lines up with the green hue that we had to the sky. Stevie, can we get velocity back on?
Yes.
And we'll get an idea of where that rotation was setting up. Maybe it looks like it has weakened a little bit. The rain also may be messing with those scans as well. It's hard to see, but you still see the greens and reds next to each other enough that it still has my attention. And as I'm gonna put this in play. So as a reminder, severe thunderstorm warning for Burleson and Brazos County for both of these storms that are passing through goes until 3 o'clock this afternoon, so for the next 10 minutes. All right, let's do that.
That was first alert radar trying to read those winds, so I do think that the rain is messing with those readings there, Kaylee.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We're going to take the Briarcrest live eye. What a mess. Hard to see if we're finding any hail, just because the rain is coming down so quickly, but it's not going to surprise me if those drops, they're either very large drops or we're finding some of that sub-severe hail. I haven't seen any. Stevie, if you have the Facebook comments up.
I will pull them up. We're also getting reports of street flooding over towards Highway 6 in Woodville, just due to all of this heavy rainfall. So if you're not actively under those severe weather threats or experiencing hail, still finding a lot of heavy rainfall.
All right. If we want to, yeah, it is. If we want to bring back Max 2, I'll put lightning on top of that. So yeah, it is. We're likely about to find a decent amount of power outages just from the number of lightning strikes. And you can see that lightning strike counter up in the corner, upwards of 2,000 in the last 30 minutes. So it is an electric storm. That hail is also likely continuing to increase that lightning production and vice versa, because basically when you have a big hail core up in the sky, that's like wearing wool socks and rubbing your feet on the carpet and shocking people, and when you shock, that is the lightning strike that you're seeing. So that's what's going on above the clouds in our atmosphere right now.
Kaylee, we're getting a lot of reports in the Facebook comments just about hail, small hail by Rudder High School, hail around 29th and Villa Maria, North Bryan in general, and hail starting up in Curtin as well. So there's that hail core there.
Yep, we will get a better idea of that. We'll pause it. Still has the potential to find at least a little bit of that sub-severe hail in nature, but light blue, that is our indication that we are finding the potential for some severe hail closer to quarter-sized in nature. So there's some of those. Guys, do you need me to step off the wall so I can get back on? There we go. All right, so here is a look at that hail core. It is widening out, which typically is a decent sign to find some weakening, at least slightly, but that means more people are going to be experiencing that sub-severe hail. So really from Curtin, stretching through Bryan, almost stretching the complete width of Brazos County, that is central Brazos County at least, that is where that hail core is setting itself up right now.
If y'all want to...
Okay, let's take it. There is the live eye camera on top of Baylor Scott and White. Again, rain is just coming down. The wind is blowing it all around, but I can't tell if we're finding any hail, at least from this shot. So, but again, we're getting reports from viewers about those hail reports. Stevie, do you want to take over for velocity? And
yes.
I can poke around?
If y'all will flip over to Max 1, please. I do have this velocity scope up that essentially tries to tell us the winds. Now, we've been keeping a very close eye on here. Max 1 should be, okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Wait just a second. We're actually getting a new scan in as we speak, so that's going to give us a even clearer view here momentarily for you guys.
We're gonna stick with Stevie because this computer just disconnected again.
So, there's just one more moment. Again, heavy rainfall, we can all hear it. We can hear the lightning and thunder. We've talked hail concerns, but we're keeping a close eye on this system due to just the historic rotation we've found today in this line of thunderstorms. So as we poke into that velocity scope here momentarily, we'll be able to find some.
Okay, if you hop into 2.
Okay.
And just start doing stuff too. It's picking up max 2.
It's frozen.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, there we go, back. Okay, so if we look towards the south of town there, inside the circle, that's our velocity scope, starting to find some darker reds and paler greens, so not indicating the strongest of rotation, and at this time, still trying to keep that on the broader end, but something we were watching very closely. Kaylee pointed that out just a few moments ago. As you can see,
it does look like a tour possible tag is going to be issued with this update of the warning for Brazos County.
Okay.
They're saying they got a Twitter report of a funnel cloud over College Station.
Okay. So yes.
So that is likely that.
Once you're ready, Kaylee, we'll pop you back up, and I can point around with you here. I'd
say if y'all want to put me.
Okay.
There we sorry, with max 1, not with max 2. Max 2 is frozen. So if it works better, just keep graphics full. Stevie, keep pointing around. So again, because we're watching the same system, so this is a look at the radar on top, but we need to look at the velocity inside of this storm. Again, this new warning is going to be updated with the tornado possible tag, and Stevie has got that for you. So Stevie, go ahead and take over.
Yes, so we see that difference in color there, that red that I'm pointing at and that green that we're pointing out. When we see difference in color paired right next to each other, that means that we can find rotation. As Kaylee mentioned, we are going to be getting a new update to our severe thunderstorm warning with a tour possible tag, which means that we are starting to see rotation here in this storm. That's closer to South College Station. Let me zoom in even further, so we can get closer looks at specific locations. So currently between Holloman and Longmire, honestly right over Welborn there. If you keep your eye on that area, I'll bring in that pointer here in just a second. Let me make that velocity scope just a touch bigger so we can see. Okay, there we go. So once we start to bring in that pointer, this is what we're looking at here, y'all. That's right over Welsh. That's closer to the south part of town, not fully South College Station, but south of campus. Just got a new scan in that has started to shift that slightly to the east, continuing to track this for you. Let's get even closer.
So yeah, I'm going to let you keep zooming in. I am just going to read over what the warning has been updated to for this tour possible tag. So basically everything is staying relatively the same. They have updated the speed. This now is moving at 50 miles to the northeast. Main concern, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, quarter-sized hail. But because we are finding that potential for rotation, hang on, I believe that's the wrong warning. Because we're finding that area of rotation, they have gone ahead and updated that to a tour possible tag. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, so Baylor, Scott, and White looking towards where that area of rotation is. So you can see the clouds do look to be potentially lowering a little bit. No clear shot of a funnel, but again, with clouds that look that low, I'm not going to be surprised if we do start to find that. So let's keep eyes on that camera as we continue on with coverage. The severe warning has been extended to 3:30, so that goes for another 30 minutes. And as we continue to, again, map out this rotation, again, this is that area moving over Welsh and then over towards Deacon, just over to the north of Deacon. So not quite South College Station, but certainly south of the university. Guys, let's take Max 2 because we are back with that whenever you get a second. Perfect. And you can throw me on the wall with it when you get a second. But this is the updated warning. Again, moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour, this whole system here. So we will get you a new track drawn on with that. Broad rotation overhead in Welburn, lots of scud. Nothing uber concerning, says Chief Meteorologist Max Crawford. Thanks for watching.
Do you have chat on this computer?
No, I have it on here though.
Okay, no worries. My iPad's down, but I'll drive for you.
Okay. Hey, stay in one. Just
stay in one.
Keep eyes on that.
Okay.
Keep eyes on that couplet. I'll get a timeline out for this guy. So again, moving to the northeast at 50. So let's get you an updated timeline. Great. All right, here we go. So we're just going to go from the leading edge of this storm, except, hang on, that was wrong. I'm going to go about here and then moving to the northeast-ish. So there is an idea. Kind of. It's not a great track. So it's moving at such an odd pace because we're seeing movement down to the southeast, but also this is pulling over to the east. Does look like we've cleaned up those warnings though and still just have the one severe thunderstorm warning over Bryan College Station that does push into the rest of Brazos County, into north and northwestern Grimes, and then southern Madison County. So let's, cool. So again, still very green. This is a look on from the association camera looking towards that storm. So very green, that notes the potential for hail. Again, if we have rotation, we're gonna have some hail. As of right now, that does look to be sub-severe in nature. All right, do believe Rusty has a tweet that is around 2:30, so about 30 minutes ago, taken from the rooftop of Park West, looking to the north. So no confirmation of a touchdown, but it's that messy kind of scud clouds that we're finding, like we were talking about. Those, we're going to see the cloud base is lower, and now we just have to see if we find that rotation and that funnel actually reaching the ground. But again, it is just a mess out there. If we want to take Max 2, I've got the hail scope on. So again, sub-severe for most of us, but that's enough hail in the sky to muddy up the view and to make the skies look that green to blue-ish hue like what we just saw on the association camera. Hail size anywhere from an M&M to about a P, but we do see, oh, that's promising. That is promising. Just saw a new scan come in, and that those hail sizes did go down. I'm gonna get velocity back up on here.
It's also in Max 1, Kaylee, if you want it.
Okay, let's go to Max 1. She's already got it zoomed in. I'll keep mine on hail. So if we can go to Max 1 whenever we get a second. Yeah, occasional weak couplets, weak rotation associated with the cell over Brazos County. They're going to continue that severe warning and just keep the tornado possible tag. Can we get, there we go. Awesome. So again, it does look like we've seen a bit of improvement with the rotation. So we're not seeing the green next to the red, but the clouds are lowering enough, then this is a messy enough system that we can find those areas of rotation trying to lower down to the ground. Looks like we're also going to get a flash flood warning for north to central Brazos County. So again, if we're not finding active rotation, those winds are still going to be very erratic. So the direction's going to be moving around a lot. So even though this is not a tornado warning, this does come with the tornado possible tag. So that means we need to be in that tornado safe space. Lowest level of your home, most interior room, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Again, even though we do not have any sort of confirmation about a tornado or any active tornado warning, if this comes with that TOR possible tag.
We do have that new severe thunderstorm warning issued, which we can look
Okay,
at.
so we're gonna get Scott and White up, get another view, and then we'll get the details on this new system. So again, both of these, well, only one of these actually comes with the tornado possible tag, but because we have seen enough of a hint of rotation within these cells, we need to make sure we are treating these severe thunderstorm warnings like we would treat a tornado warning. So we need to make sure we are on the lowest level of our house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Take your device with you. If you don't have a device and you're only streaming us on your TV, turn up the volume and get into that tornado and that storm safe space. Even though this is not a tornado warning, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. At least one of these comes with that tornado possible tag. Again, that one is mainly in effect for Brazos County. This new one, Stevie, if we can zoom out because we're on your Max box.
Okay, yes.
Which is fine with me. There is a look again at that newer warning that stretches. Again, kind of the motion of these storms has been so strange that these warning boxes do look a tad interesting. What is it moving at?
Let me double check for you.
So again, till 3:30.
That would be moving east at 40 miles per hour.
Okay, let's get a timeline thrown on there, get an idea. Let's zoom out and get pretty much this whole line, because, not the whole line, but the two warnings, if that makes sense. So again, both of these go for the next about 30 minutes. And again, only one of them comes with that tornado possible tag. That is the warning over Bryan College Station that includes Bryan College Station, because we have seen those messy clouds that are trying to lower down to the surface. We've seen a few funnels, no confirmation of any of that rotation reaching the ground level. But again, it is a messy enough system that they're going to go ahead and keep the TOR possible tag for us here in Brazos County. For Burleson and stretching down into Washington, that is just a normal severe thunderstorm warning. Does not come with the TOR possible tag, but that can change. We'll of course keep you updated. There's a look at that timeline. So gets to Milliken at about 3:10 here in the next about 5 minutes. Anderson 3:16, Huntsville 3:34, and continues on to the south. Again, anything after 3:30 is technically after these warnings are set to come to an end, but we will of course keep you updated if they do get extended. That was Intuit. Okay, so there's a look at that rotation. If we want to, can we get rotation? I forgot what max box we were on, I'm sorry.
Max 2 for rotation.
Okay. If we can take max 2 when we get a second, guys. It is messy. It is not clear cut enough to be a couplet. But again, we're finding those scud looking clouds, so they look kind of rough and ragged on the edges. Yep, and we're gonna keep our eyes on this one. So right now, if we are finding any sort of lowering in the clouds, that's going to likely be crossing Highway 6 closer to William D. Fitch. So Stevie, can we get a closer zoom in on that? Just get us some other roads. So again, closer to South College Station, but down Rock Prairie, and as we head down towards 6 Barron Road, those winds are likely a little bit erratic now. Again, finding some of that messier rotation. Not clear cut enough to be a couplet, but this is the reason why this severe thunderstorm warning is going to stay with that tornado possible tag. So again, we are treating this severe thunderstorm warning like we would treat a tornado warning. So if you are within that warned area, you need to make sure you are in your tornado safe space. If you are in South College Station, you need to be in that tornado safe space. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, because we know that this environment has been messy and just a huge area for potential to find those thunderstorms that are rotating. It does look like we're finding maybe a little bit down towards Barron now. So again, South College Station, those are a look at some of those roadways. And if we can get, switch over to Hail Scope while they do that. We're going to take Scott and White here in just a second. Do want to see if we're finding any sort of hail with that. And go ahead and click it. So not finding any hail. Main concern here is going to be velocity, and velocity and winds and that rotation as we continue on through the next about 20 minutes. Again, this warning goes until 3:30. And we are treating a severe thunderstorm warning like we would treat a tornado warning. Stay where you are and get to the most interior room of your house because this rotation is present. Again, this is all thanks to the radar that is on top of the O&M building, giving us a better idea of the rotation happening in the lower levels. So it is not strong enough to be producing that direct couplet, but we're finding enough rotation that those lighter greens and lighter reds are next to some of those darker reds. So that is why we're going to continue on with this storm. It does look like we're going to go ahead and extend the tornado watch until 6 o'clock because originally the tornado watch was supposed to end in an hour. Obviously, the environment is going to remain conducive to storms, so we're going to keep our eyes on this. So let's take a zoom out. Again, Stevie, show me the warning box.
Okay.
So people know where they need to be in that tornado safe space. Again, this comes with the tornado possible tagline. So all modes of severe weather are possible, the hail, the wind, the heavy rain, the lightning, but also because of that messy area of rotation, everywhere in that yellow outlined box, stretching from Bryan College Station, most of the rest of Brazos County, stretching into portions of Grimes County and even into Madison. If you are in this area, you need to be in that tornado safe space for at least the next 20 minutes or so. Stevie, let's zoom out a little bit more so people can see that whole polygon. Thank you. So yeah, so stretching kind of right along 190, stretching down through the central portions of Grimes County, back into Brazos, and then it just kind of clips Bryan College Station there. Everywhere within this yellow polygon, be indoors and be in a tornado safe space. Even though this is not a tornado warning, we know that this system has had a history of at least trying to get funnels down and lower those cloud bases. So we want to make sure that we are staying vigilant and kind of staying ahead of this storm, since we know that this is an environment that is very conducive to finding that tornado formation. Stevie, let's get velocity on there again.
If we want to switch over, well, never mind, this one's better. Just a second.
No, you're good. So we'll zoom in. Again, anywhere red and green meet, that is where we are finding that potential area of rotation. It has been messy. We have not found a clear couplet with this system. And the rain also may be attenuating us a little bit, so maybe not giving us the best idea, but kind of the messiest part of this storm looks to be closer to South College Station, I believe, when we were looking at that that last picture that we got of the funnel lowering, it was pointed towards this section of the storm. So go ahead and put that in play and see what we're.
Let me shorten this to the last 30 minutes.
Cool. And you can slow it down. Go hour by hour. Walk us through it.
Okay. So about 2:45, that's when we were starting to see that couplet way South College Station. Yes, you can see that right there. Moving forward in time, then our radar beam gets a little lost. That's where the rain is trying to mess it up, but then it then started to latch back on to that couplet there.
Yeah. So broad rotation, not quite a couplet, but rotation enough that we are finding that lowering of the cloud bases at the lower levels of the atmosphere. So if you are to look outside right now, that's why those clouds look a little bit jagged. We call those scud clouds. Again, we're finding those lowering closer to the surface. We have seen reports of a funnel, but a funnel is not a tornado. Tornado is when that funnel makes contact with the ground, which we have not seen with this storm yet. Make sure we're not getting. We have had some updates to the watch. Northernmost counties, looks like you guys are going to get trimmed out of it as the storm threat continues to the south. But again, our main concern is going to be as this line is just right over top of Bryan College Station, especially South College Station, where you're finding, you see those little notches inside for where the dark red gets into that lighter gray or lighter green color. That's likely where we're still finding a little bit of that messy rotation. Still down towards Wellburn. That may be a new bit, but also right here. Stevie, let's get a storm track on it.
Okay. on that rotation itself or the entire?
Let's do line as a whole.
Okay.
Because it's been messy enough where we could easily find multiple areas, begin to find that rotation. Again, the reason when we have a line like this, you see those notches kind of bumping into the storm. That is where the inflow is starting to fight against the outflow. So that's where you have those two air masses meet and begin that rotation. And right now, it hasn't been clear cut enough to warrant any sort of tornado warning, but it's been strong enough to warrant a tornado possible tag on that severe thunderstorm warning that has been parked over Brazos County, Grimes, and Madison County. So there's a look at that system. Again, moves towards Milliken at 3:19 here in the next few minutes. Shiro at 3:27, Riverside at 3:33. That is technically after both of these warnings are set to expire. That happens at 3:30 here in about the next 17-ish minutes. Navasota at 3:36, Huntsville at 3:45, Stoneham at about 3:55, Point Blank at 4:05, New Waverly at 4:07. So again, most of the any time after 3:30, that is technically after this warning is set to expire, but will not be surprised if we have to see the warnings extend or at least change shape, as this is still a very strong activity for us. Stevie, if we can, yeah, let's take a look at Baylor Scott and White while we do that. Stevie, can you kind of talk over live eye here for a second? I'm going to fix our velocity scope.
Absolutely. So this is a live look from Baylor Scott and White. We are looking at Highway 6 there. That's the water tower that many of us recognize, showing you how heavy this rain is. So not only is this posing the potential for severe weather threats such as strong gusty winds, but also heavy rainfall, further worsening those flooding concerns. We've had multiple reports from our viewers and from weather watchers and the like about street flooding. So I see some cars out there on Highway 6. It's that water is going to continue to pile up as we are just locked under this very heavy rainfall that will continue. So even after this bigger round of rain passes, we're still going to be dealing with flooding concerns. Be mindful with that even as we exit off live coverage later on today. Now, we don't see any hail falling currently with this live eye look. I also haven't heard quite as much from our weather watchers out there in terms of hail reports. If you do have hail or you do find that falling near you, obviously from inside, let us know in the Facebook comments. We're keeping tabs on those. We would love to know what you are finding out there on the ground, but this is what we see from Baylor Scott and White.
Yeah, and if we want to take Max 2 back, I have a hail scope on top of that. Most of it looks sub-severe in nature if it is actually falling to the ground. So stretching from pretty much College Station down to the south and southwest, Snook, Wilcox, and into portions of Burleson County. You can see a little bit of that light blue beginning to pop up just south of Snook. So maybe still finding some quarters potentially falling, but most of this is going to be sub-severe in nature, but impactful if you are trying to drive. If you were about to head out the door, I urge you to stay put for a little bit longer. Again, this warning goes for the next 15 minutes, and we'll clear everything off so you can get an idea and remind yourself of who is in that warning, especially for Bryan College Station and over towards Grimes counties. This polygon in particular, that warning goes for the next 15 minutes. It comes with that tour possible tag, and it's likely they're going to go ahead and keep that attached to this system. So we're treating this like a tornado warning. Again, we will get to the most interior room of our house. You will take the device that you are watching us on with you, whether that be a phone, a tablet. If you don't have any of those mobile devices and you just have the TV, turn up the volume. It's likely loud where you are, but we'll continue to talk and give you locations and give you an idea of what we're seeing so you can continue to get that weather information, but get into that most interior room. For most people, it is a bathroom. For some, it is a coat closet. Just make sure that you are not sharing a wall with anything on the outside. We want to put as many walls between you and the elements as possible. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry not to cut you off. If you are caught in your car right now or maybe in a parking lot, get into the nearest building. That is going to be the safest spot for you.
It does look like we're getting dime-size hail reports near Hope Creek in North Dowling, south of KCLL, and then pea-sized hail in Welburn in 2818. So some of those hail reports bringing some truth to what Live Radar is showing us. most of it subsevere, all of the reports in fact subsevere, which is good, but we are seeing a little bit of an uptick right as you pass over the river and over towards Burleson County. That is where we're finding a little bit more of that potential to find some quarter-sized hail, and that is 1 inch in diameter. And we will continue to monitor that. A lot of these hail cores have really ebbed and flowed with us today, as have the velocity signatures in those couplets. This is just a volatile atmosphere for strong to severe storms. That warm front has just surged in all of this moisture, and we have got ample amounts of storm fuel. Let's put velocity back on there. Again, rain kind of attenuating our view a bit.
Yeah, really.
Not giving us a great idea of that. Let's maybe down again still kind of, but that looks also like it's just the edge of our radar. So I think rain is likely maybe attenuating for a little bit. Let me fix that velocity scope.
Okay.
And guys, if we want to take Scott and White again, just so we can get this fixed. And Stevie, have we seen any updates from Facebook Live or anything like that?
So from Facebook Live and from the National Weather Service, just that confirmed hail report near Welburn and 2818. We're getting a lot of reports about winds, which are still staying gusty, even if we don't find rotation in those winds, still damaging, still fast out there, as we've seen this storm put out previously earlier on in the day, on top of that very heavy rainfall. So quite frankly, we are dealing with every severe weather risk at this time. Still monitoring for rotation, not currently in imminent concern, but we are going to continue to treat this severe thunderstorm warning that's draped over Bryan College Station and Brazos County as a tornado warning. So you need to be inside, interior room, lowest floor. Most of our reports here in the Facebook stream, which we are continuing our live coverage on as well, is indicating just really heavy rainfall. That is the bulk and the majority of those reports we're receiving right now. We do want to continue focusing on this Bryan College Station system, and
Get Max 2 back up.
And that's thunderstorm that's over there. There has also been another severe thunderstorm warning issued for Trinity and Houston counties.
Yeah, and so I've switched over to our other radars because I think the rain is starting to mess with our local radar here. So again, you see the bright greens and bright reds. This isn't all rotation. This is likely velocity folding. We're finding those extremely gusty winds and more of a straight line concern, but right along that leading edge, still finding the potential for those areas of rotation. It does look like we have an update from the National Weather Service. They're going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning with TOR possible for this line of storms impacting Burleson and northern Washington and Brazos moving into Grimes. So we're going to continue to treat these severe thunderstorm warnings as if they are tornado warnings. Again, most interior room of your house, put plenty of walls between you and the outside as possible. So let's get that off. We'll look at hail, maybe finding a little bit of a uptick in hail moving into Welburn. I'm going to pause on that. So again, anytime we see these light blue colors, that's typically when we're finding the quarter-sized hail in diameter. So that is technically that severe threshold of 1 inch in diameter. But everywhere else, if we are finding hail falling, it is likely subsevere in nature. National Weather Service also noting they keep seeing couplets pop up along that leading edge, which we've been talking about for like the last 30 minutes, last hour. They're going to continue to watch them, but for the most part, they've been well behaved. So the environment is suitable to get those spin ups. Again, that is just a messy leading edge of that storm. So those clouds likely trying to lower, and you may be finding some funnels in the clouds. If you find that and you can safely get a picture of it, let us know and shoot that our way. But the other difficulty with a line like this, with all of these couplets that are just enveloped along that leading edge, we also have a ton of rain. Stevie, go ahead and take off the velocity scope. and just show us where that rain is. So these are rain wrapped. So if we are finding rotation, it is going to be so difficult to see. And is that the updated warning?
Yes.
Okay, let's get the details on that one. See what time they have. That goes until 4. So yeah, we'll continue this coverage. Again, tornado possible warnings, tornado possible tags with a severe thunderstorm warning. Does not mean we have a tornado on the ground, but it means the storm has the potential to have that tornado concern along with it. So we are going to continue to treat this as if it were a tornado warning. And that means, again, most interior room of your house. Make sure that you are putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We're also seeing just a ton of flooding. Stevie, if we want to back off for a second on this and we can get the details, those red boxes that you see, most of those, all of those, flash flood warnings. So until 6:15, details from the National Weather Service. We have seen between 2 and 3 inches of rain with an additional 1 to 3 on the way. This system is slowed down big time, and it is just absolutely full of moisture, and that is putting out a ton of rain. Stevie, on 2, if you want to, or on 1, if you want to get estimated rainfall over the last 24 hours with those warnings overlaid, I'll stick on this storm. We will get an updated track on that for you. So let's get the details. Again, right now we have 3 warnings active. 2 of those are about to come to an end. They go until 3:30, but they've kind of combined and consolidated into this next warning that goes until 4, and that is going to continue to move to the, I believe it's the south and southeast. Let's see. East at 40. So we will get a new, I'm also finding reflectivity really picking up just south of BCS. So we'll get 40 up. And Stevie, whenever you are ready to take over for rainfall, after I do this, I'll let you chat for a second.
Sounds good.
All right, so east at 40. This is just this worn section of the line, so in the leading edge. It's not when the strongest section, but this is when you will start to experience the rainfall with that leading edge. Navasota at 3:35 here in the next 10 minutes. Huntsville 3:49. Phelps at 4 o'clock, so that is when this warning comes to an end. We will see if that goes ahead and is extended. New Waverly at 4:12. Willis at 4:26. Cold Spring at 4:40. Conroe at 4:54. Can we take the Baylor Scott and White live-eye when you guys get a second? Looking over there, have seen just a ton of lightning, and now that I've chosen to look at this camera, it's probably going to stop. But lots of lightning outages. Friends in the back, have we checked BTU lately? And if not, can we? Just with all this lightning, but of course now it's not going to show up for me. But do promise has been a lot of lightning. That is also a severe concern for us. So again, this system is continuing to move down to the east and southeast about 40. Let's switch over to Stevie, and in Max 1, I'm going to continue to dig inside this storm and see what that increased reflectivity is all about.
Perfect. Yeah, so if we'll switch over to Max 1, so this is no longer a look at radar reflectivity, which shows us where thunderstorms are. Instead, this is a look at radar estimated rainfall. So very bright colors there, greens, yellows. I'll poke around in there so we can get those estimates. Now, we won't get official rainfall totals until today is said and done, but do want to get you a look at estimated how much rain is trying to fall. So as we look back towards Milam County, behind this leading edge of the storm where it is now, we're seeing estimated accumulations upwards of 4.5, close to 5 inches. Anywhere you see that green color, that's closer to that 3-inch mark. Though I do want to zoom in and poke around here in Bryan College Station so we can start to see more localized rain totals at this time.
And again, we've just seen so much rain on top of saturated soils, right? So any rain we were going to see today was just going to compound those issues.
Exactly.
So that is why if you can stay off the roads the rest of this afternoon and evening, please do so. Have gotten a lot of videos into the newsroom. Just saw one from Rusty that has a lot of flooding.
Yes, that's also a big reason why we've seen these red boxes. So the darker red color, whenever we find those, that's indicative of a flash flood warning that has been issued. With how rapidly rain is falling, this really comes as no surprise. We have one in place for Brazos and Burleson. So even, again, we've said this multiple times, if you're not actively finding hail or strong gusty winds at this moment, you're still finding a lot of heavy rainfall in this line there. So just to exemplify how these rainfall estimated totals match up with radar reflectivity, I'll turn reflectivity back on. So when we start to find those reds, those oranges, and especially those pinks, that's where the heaviest of rainfall lies. We can actually bring up rain rates here, Kaylee.